Hello, fellow travelers. This is Veronica from Human Design Journey with the Profile series. We're looking at the costume we wear in this life, uh, which others see us as the way we fulfill our purpose, which is a byproduct of us living our most authentic life on the least resistance path, following our strategy and authority. We've come to the last profile, the 12th one, which is the continuation towards the new step. It's the closing of the process. It is deeply seeking out the other. For the 6-3 profile, the quality and nature of its intimacy and its relationships are more important than anything else, because it is through relationships, through being able to finally establish the bond, that the next step in the process can begin. The next profile is the 1-3. So 6-3 is really looking for a partner that will bring a new foundation, a new beginning together with the other. And in this way, all profiles are linked to each other. The 6-3 is a role model martyr underneath. And this shows that at the end of the process, there is a third line, and the third line says there is something else, there is more to explore. That's not the end. So the 6-3 profile shows us that being the close of the hexagram, it's actually the next step in the process. And being the final of the 12 profiles, as such, opens up to the next cycle and leads to the beginning again, back to the 1-3. The 6-3 is a harmonic profile. The 3 and the 6 are harmonic. The 6 actually in the first, because it's a 6-line profile, they go through 3 stages in life. 3 distinct stages of life, from birth to 30, then from till their Saturn return, then from 30 to 50, until they Chiron return, and after 50, when they blossom and come out as themselves, being the role model of who they really are. And during the first stage of their life, the 6-3 profile, this is a trial and error process all the way. We already saw the 3-6 profile, which is has the 6th unconscious and the 3rd personality. But here we have the personality of the role model, and the martyr is underneath, waiting for. So the 6th is optimistic, looking for the perfection, the ideal partner, job, work relation. And the 3rd line, deeply pessimistic behind, with its theme of bonds made and broken, questioning all the time that idealism of the 6th line personality. It's quite different from the 6-2, because the 3rd line theme is not the theme of the hermit. Actually, the 6-2 is the real closure of the hexagram, if you think about it. The 6-3, it is very mutative. It's the most mutative profile, because we have the role model martyr, which can have like a truly chaotic process. Its process is driven by the 3rd line unconscious. It's not content to be about its own business. It bumps into others. It's ready to go out there and try anything. Trial and error is its way in bonding, and bonds being made and broken is the strategy of life. The strategy, security strategy, is the bonding, sexuality, humanity. So when the 6-3 is comes to the 2nd stage of life, when it's no longer a 3-3, where a lot of trial and error, so those children really have to have their helmets on, their pads on their knees and elbows to protect them, because they will bump into things and things will bump into them, so as to not crush themselves and to break themselves. Those this discovery, this chaotic process, make sure you are protected, dear parents of 6-3s or 6-3s. If you hear it yourself, probably recognize that. Take care of your body. Although it's quite resilient, it's you kick it and it comes back. But the first 30 years, it can be quite a rough ride. And then in the second part of life, when the 6-3 goes to the roof phase, where they withdraw and they're a little bit disengaged, not so much in the process, they get bored. They get bored, so they get tired of just watching and they want to jump back in. And they do it, and then they get tired, and then they jump back again on the roof. When they get burned, they go back racing back, because being on the roof, they watch people, the fool on the hill, watching people, watching relations, and they think, well, it looks like that will work, I will go try it. And then they get burned and it doesn't work, and they get pessimistic again, and they go bam on the roof, where their pessimism shines again when they see that things actually can work, that some relationships can work, that some friendships, loving relationships, parent-child relationships can work. Then they are ready to test again. They're driven by the personality's optimism, that anything is possible, and that through trial and error, you can find what to trust. They believe that you can find your soulmate. This 6-3 profile can be very promiscuous in its life, trying a lot of partners, and also promiscuous in its interest, in its relationships, always engaging, being disappointed, then disengaging, becoming pessimistic, jumping back to its place of aloofness, and turning on and off and on and off this desire to engage and disengage. The 6-like personality aspires to objectivity, and it is only through objectivity that they can reliably see whether something can be trusted. They will only go for perfection, and otherwise they will stand alone. But there is a continuum at the very end of the profile process. At the very end of the 6-line personality process, a third line unconscious underneath that says that is not it. There is still more. There are still more things to try. There are still things that need to be tested. There are things which need to be tasted as well. The 6-3 is constantly looking for engagement and involvement. They can be very disturbing to others with their engaging, and then they bring allegiance, and then they, with their transpersonal gift, they can be very attractive. And yet at the same time, when they're dissatisfied, when they cannot trust, when they do not see that the experience is going to be fulfilling, they will immediately reject the other, break the bond, reject the experience, reject the career, and go aloof. It's a profile of constant change and constant metamorphosis, constant discovery, transition. There are a lot of prejudice against that, but this is their way. So in the first 30 years, the 6-3 frantically moves through experience, aligning itself with others and things, and then rejecting them, and going to the second part of the aloof phase in the midlife, always moving between engagement and aloofness, never being able to stay aloof long enough, being driven by its unconscious third line, having things bang into it that pull it down from the roof to try in sustainment, and re-engaging again. And then in the post 50-year period, there are opportunities to find something that they can build a bond with, that they can break that bond with and return to it. By then, hopefully they have found peace with their process. This is the key for the 6-3 profile. They will never stop this process of engaging and withdrawing. It is built into their nature. It does not mean that they constantly have to burn bridges. It is possible for them to find something powerful enough for them in their life that they can trust, that it can be their soulmate. And looking for that partner that they can trust and finding that partner, this is the leadership they look for. They're looking for leadership they can share with somebody. They need situations with which to engage and to still have their opportunity to pull away. And then they're able to re-engage with those situations. So when they re-establish the bond, this is the next step of the process, and it can begin. This is how the cycle comes into a new cycle, and every end is a new beginning. And this is what we can truly see with the 6-3 profile. The role model martyr, the administrator anarchist underneath, who's ready to burn the bridge, burn the foundation, and go test a new one, but always sustaining to its process. And although pessimistic underneath, it's optimistic on the surface, on its conscious side, where objectivity is something that is more difficult for them to get compared to the 6-2 profile, because the 6-3, because of those bonds made and broken all the time, it a little bit disturbs their objective process, their objectivity. But if they follow their type, their strategy and authority, it's a byproduct, and they will find the right and the correct things, people, bonds, career, relationships, love, which they can stick with, they can break the bond with, re-engage again, return, reestablish the bond, break it again, and so on and so on, and that they're at peace with that process of never-ending development, discovery. It's the biggest profile of discovery that shows us the connection between everything. The ring pass not. We are connected. We only live in the illusion of separateness. And we can see that best in this profile. The transpersonal karma transition and adaptation to this world. It is the end of the profile series. I'll be glad if I was useful to you to find out more about the profiles. But remember, the profile is a byproduct of living your strategy and authority. And the 6-3 profile, this is what Ra says about it. The 6-3 completes the cycle, preparing our way for the new foundation, the new fundamental things. More than anyone else, they deeply seek the other. The quality and nature of intimacy and relationships are more important to the 6-3 than anybody else, because only through their relationships can they eventually establish a relationship that in the next step of the process can start a new beginning. We're here to share ourselves, to be in relationships, to exchange. So the hermit, the 6-2, the role model hermit, it's really the end of the hexagram process. But the 6-3 is the one that shows us that through relations, everything continues. There is a continuum. And the end is just closing of one door to open a new one. If you want to know more about the other profiles, the previous 11 profiles, if you want to know more about human design, the basics, and more, you can subscribe to my channel, Human Design Journey. You can like that video. Let me know if it was useful to you. I'm Veronica, and you can find me on my website, humandesignjourney.com, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok with the same name. See you again. And I'll be back with more. Bye for now.